As we just discussed, everything you put on the internet is traceable. Therefore, you have to be extremely careful about protecting your personal information. Anything you say in your own name will forever be attributed to you. If you're not careful, criminals will be able to find enough information in different places, put it together, and steal your identity. Never post information in public. Social security numbers, credit card numbers, bank account numbers, your mother's maiden name, anything that can be used to obtain access to your accounts. Do not even put it into an email because it might somehow be intercepted. Only use that information online on secure websites from companies who you trust and who you know. Websites, particularly social media, will try to convince you to share your personal information online. Be very careful about this. Do not overshare. You will eventually regret it. When you apply for a job, potential employers can choose to Google you and discover everything you've done online. Be careful to protect your personal issues. Don't discuss a problem child, a nasty divorce, because you'll eventually have to explain everything that you said. Don't post embarrassing pictures of yourself. Too many people have committed that mistake because it is so easy to post something on the spur of the moment. But once something is online, it's there forever. You can never delete it. Hitting the delete button is an illusion because once it is out there, it is there forever. You can never fully retrieve it. And that is why it is so important that you respect your children's privacy. Do not discuss them online or even mention their names explicitly. Anything that allows Google to find them, whether today or 10 years in the future, hurts them. Not only may you embarrass them, you may ruin their chances of getting a specific job or dating a specific boy or girl. Do not run the risk of ruining your children's lives. Do not share their information. This is something your children need to learn also. And in my opinion, is the crucial reason why they need to have limited access to social media. Children lack the emotional maturity to protect their own privacy. They do not have the experience or the patience of waiting and planning for the rest of their lives. And that's crucial in keeping your information private. We'll talk shortly about keeping your children safe online, but it bears mentioning here that social media is particularly dangerous for them for precisely this reason. They may post silly pictures or information about themselves which their friends and classmates may mercilessly tease, or they may reveal information about their location that others can use, or they may disclose personal details that will affect their future careers or their shidduchim. For all these reasons, children need to be taught the importance of internet privacy. They need to be monitored on social media, and maybe, my preference, kept off social media altogether. As we will discuss, this all depends on their personal circumstances. However, in this new era in which we live, you must have this conversation about privacy with your children, early and often. We discussed earlier the problem of internet addiction. And even if you're not addicted, or you think you're not addicted, you need to recognize the potential of neglecting your real-life relationships. The internet is great for enhancing friendships by adding new dimensions, but it should never replace them. It is an add-on to your life, not a replacement. You need the people in the neighborhood, the people with whom you grew up, the people you see every day. If you ignore them, if you fail to develop those relationships, you'll eventually realize your life is empty. And don't forget about your spouse and children. They need your attention. They need you to listen when they talk and look at their eyes and not your screen. They want to hear about your day and your thoughts, not just the bare minimum that you have to say to get rid of them. If you can't put away your screen and pay attention to your family, you will permanently damage those precious relationships. I want to discuss something extremely sensitive and important, but also somewhat ambiguous. Tznius, modesty, interaction with the opposite gender. Tznius is not only about how you dress, but also primarily about how you act. The Prophet tells us, "Ve'asnea leches," you should go modestly, you should act modestly, you should interact modestly. Here is a simple rule of thumb that's vague but easy. When interacting online with members of the opposite gender, act the way you would in real life. Look, standards vary by community. In some places, men and women speak with each other freely and at length, and in other communities, they never speak with each other. Most frum communities are somewhere in between. If you wouldn't speak with a woman other than your wife, don't email, tweet, or Facebook a woman either. Personally, I speak to women, but not too much at length, and that is how I interact online. Friends, the danger is real. Even though we just finished discussing how online relationships aren't real, they often appear to be real. If and when you're having marital problems, and it happens to everyone at some point, and at the same time, you have this delightful online relationship with a member of the opposite gender that seems real, it's a recipe for disaster. Enough said. Beware. Avoid such problems. Do not develop any special relationships with members of the opposite gender, in person, of course, and online. Treat such interactions as you would in-person interactions. Keep it casual. And if you detect any special feelings, walk away before you get caught in a web that could destroy your family. Most importantly, don't do anything or communicate with anybody whom you wouldn't tell your husband or wife about. And even better, tell them.